guys? Welcome to my CK3 Vanilla Expanded Plus Modpack. I'm going to be going over this. There are 41 mods, but they're all really easy to download. It's also really small, to be honest. Like, it's only like probably around 2 gigabytes of storage, so it's not really going to dig into anything. This has to do with everything. I mean, we even got some optional magic you can put in to make it a little bit more plus. We have a bunch of lag reducing mods. I even have a personal mod in here that I made. We have a lot of optional slot-ins, and of course we have cornerstones and some more experimental mods. This is the mod pack. So we start out with more game rules, which includes literally everything. You can war cooldowns, empires. You can literally do anything on and off. You can turn off your night limit. You can turn off your men-at-arms cap. You can change the AI. You can mess with murder. You can even shatter all the realms. Every ruler's independent count. It would break my PC if I did it. But there's so much. This kind of goes down to Rice. Rice is, we'll talk about that later, because it's a really big mod. And then we're also going to talk about Great Empire Wars, because Great Empire Wars is a massively important mod, because when you get to a late stage in the game, you can have these epic battles where every vassal in your empire fights another empire. But there are a lot of settings, because they're really interesting. And of course we have battle events. I generally play with battle events turned up a lot, but that's just how I play, because I like that roleplay. So we're gonna start a game as Sigurd Snake in the Eye and see what happens. So we have a fair amount of mods, but we're gonna be grouping them into general categories, and I will be going through each one. These loading screens are all courtesy of Rice as well. They're absolutely beautiful. We should be able to hop right in right now, hopefully. Any second now. We're first going to begin talking about UI mods, because they're pretty important. Okay, come on game. You gotta load. Okay, so first we got more Rice. Okay, we'll skip over that. So first, we're going to look at the new UI. We have historical figure, which is a very important mod. Just kidding, it's chill. You don't need to have it if you don't want, but it just gives some Wikipedia entries for every important character. So let's see. Or you're all Sigurd Snake in the Eye. Okay, let's go down a bit. Let's go to East Francia. He has it to West Francia has all the important characters, even smaller characters. Maybe I'll zoom in, and yeah, King of Italy, he even has it. So yeah, going back up, you can see we also have lifestyle traits colored. Okay, minuscule change, but it's good. Yeah, and you also got nameplates, which will tell you more about people. That's all with the UI, and now we're going to go into lag reduction, because lag reduction is really important, especially because I don't have that good of a PC, so it's really important. So you can start population control, and what this does is if the population reaches a certain amount, it will start killing off characters, generally from far off. So people from here and here are all going to start dying pretty quickly. So that's going to make our game run hopefully at a similar pace. It doesn't do anything about troops, so late game will still be more laggy, but not as laggy. But yeah, and you can also enable Bloodline Trackers, which will let you track your bloodline, which I think is pretty fun, especially if you're playing for a while. Okay, now we're gonna go on to better battles. We don't have, can't really show it, but there's a lot of battle events. This is like you're fighting, and you get a pop-up, and it's like you're in a duel, or you gotta do a speech or something. And then we also got men-at-arms pictures. It's kind of self-explanatory. It gives Danish footmen actually look like Danish footmen. Huskarls look pretty sick. They look like they're straight from Game of Thrones, low-key. Light footmen and levies look like levies, you know. Same with mercenaries. Army of the Ore, got some cool looking pikemen. You got, oh, and then here, of course, is a mod that I actually personally made. It kind of got broken with the latest version, and I haven't gone back to fix the localization, but it adds in a bunch of units for Byzantine Empire. You get Varangian Guard, and you get some types of cataphracts. So if you hold Constantinople, you can recruit them, or if you hold the title of Byzantine Empire and Constantinople, you can recruit them. Okay, moving on. You got Better Barbershop. Better Barbershop is a pretty important mod. You can literally change anything. Look, I'm gonna give you Alexander curls, Emperor's boots, and we'll give you a goofy crown. There we go. And you can like arrange them in at any position. It's kind of funny, you know, especially when you want to display your dynasty. Okay, and then we have an optional. We'll talk about this optional mod later, but basically you can add more dynasty legacies, which is pretty interesting. Okay, going on to lifestyle, we also have one where you can add on another lifestyle. I find that it kind of you're more incentivized to choose that lifestyle if you're a king over the other ones, so it kind of breaks the roleplay, but I think it's fun. Of course, we also have we have a bunch of culture mods. You can we have one that expands on all the late game cultures, which I know no one's really going to use, but it's really important. And of course, we up the tradition limits, so the base traditions are way higher, so you can have a ton of traditions. Now this is kind of fun because you can just low-key be chilling, and you can want to change your culture and then actually just be able to change it, which is really fun. We also have some landless. We have some landless things. So if you're a landless, particularly if you're a landless priest trying to convert people, it's much easier. We just have a bunch of tweak mods. There's 3 of them that just make everything much easier. Going back to there aren't any emperors right now, but Great Empire Wars will be really fun, I guarantee you. Kind of going back to the theme of warfare. So now we're going to artifacts. I think you're able to, yeah. So you got Papal Tiara. I think this is a unique artifact, but everybody has these super cool unique artifacts that actually do something, that actually have like a big impact, which is quite fun in the game. We also have Commanders Plus, which is I think one of our last mods on the list. It basically, let's just find a commander. Come on guys, come on. There. So here it is. So it basically upgrades all the commander traits. So being a good commander is really useful, like and it takes time to develop them. So this is why, like, later in the game when you can get really good courtiers, it makes it worth it spending 100 gold on some absolutely insane courtier with insane prowess, but also insane stats. So if you have 35 martial, but also you have 5 of these traits, you're going to perform much better than someone who has almost 50 martial, I would say. So it makes warfare a little bit more strategic, and it kind of takes down the breeding program, eugenics program, but it's still kind of fun. And that's about it. We're gonna go on to some extra mods now that you can put in, and that are actually quite useful, but they can kind of mess with it. Like, for example, you can't use rice while you're using the shortened or the map that's made small. I think it's called small map, and it basically takes out the southern area of Africa, and I think everything past this point, past the Safarid and Tarid here, cuts out everything over here, which isn't always the best, because if you're playing over here, you can't play over here. But being honest, no one plays over here, you know? You're not catching me playing Petty Kingdom of Batang. I can't even pronounce it. Maybe I'll try playing over here just for fun. Oh, that's an interesting symbol. Yeah, so, you know. And then finally, we're going, oh, wrong button. We're going to religion. You can reform, well, the reform rules can be changed. And also, we have a lot more changes you can make in the tenants. We've added a lot more, but yeah, it's pretty fun. Now we're going to the extra mods, including one that adds magic, but it adds it in implements in such a good way that, like, I think it needs to be there. The big mod that we're using is called Rice, of course, and it basically overhauls everything. So each of these little dots on this map are little flavor things they've added. I actually personally like the Sardinia one. I love playing on Sardinia. You know, I like how I had playing as a mercenary here, raiding the Muslims here, raiding the Christians here, but literally doing whatever you want. They have some crazy, like, cultural things. Like, I've only played like 1 or 2 or 3 of these, and they stay relevant the whole game, and they just add some flavor. It's like CK2, you know, the events, the mechanics. It's just really fun. It's just hugely popular. We got almost 200,000 people currently subscribed to it, which is a lot. But yeah, and then of course you can also use Viet. Viet is also a really good events mod. Very immersive events. So yeah, that's it. If you want to kind of overhaul Warfare, I have a selection of 3 mods that work pretty well together. So first you have No More Levies, eliminates levies, or you could choose to use Levies Overhaul. And the way these works is No More Levies will take out, you can choose what percent. I normally like to take out 75% of levies. So, and it also modifies where the levies come from. And the Levies Overhaul turns, like what it says, turns the levies into an elite infantry unit that represent elite house guards. So, you know, the theme is they're your, like, household guard, your personal guard, and so they'll only come from built holdings now. So it kind of changes up the balance, and the way we've kind of fixed that is the mod Men-at-Arms ×10. It's a very simple mod. Never breaks because you just change the. I mean, unless you add new units in, you of course have to change the files for that. But basically, it makes each Men-at-Arms 10 times larger, so it makes battles much bigger. And the supply mechanics are tweaked to enable this. But these 3 I actually highly recommend. It makes Warfare much more fun. I'd say these are some of the top 3 I'd recommend from this whole list. And then we of course have Travelers. This one's a little bit more immersive, and it can be tricky. It also causes a bit more lag. I don't normally use it because of that lag, but it is enjoyable. Basically, whenever a character moves somewhere on the map, they have to travel there. So it implements that travel mechanic. So, you know, people can get robbed by bandits and die on the way, but, you know, it's pretty fun. And then we also have Pillage. Pillage basically makes playing as a Norse raider kind of devastating. Like, you can literally wreck cities with this, but it also kind of imposes debuffs in all counties you walk through. So if you walk through your own counties, it kind of messes with them. I mean, it might be more fun with some tweaks, but it's really enjoyable. We also have more lifestyles. I talked about it earlier, but more lifestyles is more lifestyles. I don't think they're fun roleplay wise, but they are really useful. Then of course, smaller world map, I already talked about it, eliminates most things, and it makes sure that there are no clashes. This does clash with Rice though, as Rice and this deal with like Rice focuses on the far reaches of the map at points. And that's about it. We do have one more mod. We got the enhanced county view. This one makes counties look cool, but I mean it really just depends on like what you prefer, I guess. But another big mod that you may choose to add is Arcane Kings. This is like a vanilla friendly magic mod that it's basically the base game, but it adds a magic system in it. It's actually pretty fun. It's a really good system, and the key with it is just it's like a magical realism, reading, or it's like reading a fairy tale. It really just lets you roleplay a bit more and have that. I would recommend using this in 1 or 2 of your playthroughs. It really helps with the roleplay and just enjoying it. That's all. I will include the mod pack in the description, so give it a try, especially the Men-at-Arms ones. I do really like the changes in Warfare. I use them in every single one of my playthroughs just for that fact. Thank you. Signing off.